How the pyramids were built, especially how the tons-heavy boulders were lifted up into the air. That is actually still an unsolved mystery. However, there are some quite plausible attempts at explanation in science. Ramps were most likely an important tool for getting the stone blocks up onto the pyramids. Opinions on the way these ramps were used and their exact function, however, differ. It is assumed, for example, that ramps running perpendicular to the pyramid were used, or ramps that zigzagged to the sides of the pyramids were built. These were tangential ramps or spiral ramps that ran in long paths around the pyramids, or a combination of ramps and lifting devices. These auxiliary structures were probably dismantled after construction, or were made of less durable materials. If, for example, the scaffolding was made of wood, wood unfortunately doesn't withstand the weather for 4,500 years. So there is no archaeological evidence for these specific construction techniques. But that doesn't necessarily mean that these techniques didn't exist. We know, for example, that the lever principle was already known and used back then. Therefore, we can assume that levers were used to lift the stones. What we haven't been able to figure out yet is, for example, how the pyramid apex, the pyramidion, was placed on the pyramid, or how the pyramids were smoothed. Yes, they used to be smooth, like the pyramid at the Louvre in Paris.